Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation. Hello, and welcome back to the W.A.I.T channel. What am I thinking? Well, we're here this evening to discuss Southern Charm, Season 9, Episode 4, In Vino Veritas. And I really think that was the perfect title because I think that Austen's drinking, his tongue got a little bit too loose and he said a little more than he intended to say. So our episode begins where it left off with Taylor and Olivia driving away, Olivia having her breakdown in the car. And did you think that it was strange that Olivia calls Leva, and Taylor calls Austen?
No, I think that was apropos. I mean, she knew she would have an ally in Leva, and Taylor needs to get Austen on notice. So, I think that was kind of fitting the way that went because, I think that was kind of how that was supposed to go.
I think as I was listening to her conversation with Leva, and she now for the first time really was giving us the timeline of the New York and her going out. I think she was in California. The thing that I found strange about her timeline, and I'm not sure if she has had the opportunity to really reflect on this, is she said that the time frame in which Austen suddenly was not interested in pursuing her fell in line with when supposedly he and Taylor were considering what could possibly come from having a relationship. And wouldn't you want the person to withdraw from you if they are considering having a relationship with someone? I would think she should be upset if he was continuing to aggressively pursue her simultaneously while considering what a relationship with Taylor would be like. I kind of felt that that's the point that she's missing, is he did stop pursuing her. And during that time, he put his attentions on someone else, which is what you would want someone to do instead of continuing to string you along. What do you think?
But when you're checking the box of being the victim, then no, you're not going.
But that's the point.
Right. You're not going to see it through that lens. She is set on being the victim, and everybody else is playing into it as if they had a 10-year relationship. You know, they had a 10-minute relationship. I don't even know if they had a 10-week relationship. Does she get to be hurt? Yes. But to the degree that she is taking it, yes, for once, Austen did do the right thing because he wasn't really in it, you know? And if he was not into her, and the fact that he was thinking about something with Taylor, he was supposed to pull back.
Absolutely.
And he was not supposed to continue to pretend it was something. He wanted it to be for all the wrong reasons. And it's hard for her to accept that, I think. I guess there's so many aspects of it that, you know, you can be right, but then still be wrong because of the way you go about it. So any empathy I want to have for Olivia and Shep it's really, the air is taken out of it because they're really overblowing this. You know, this is not Scandival. This is they have the same type of issues that Scandival had, in that they kind of go with each other, which we did that on our last Southern Charm discussion, where we gave the whole history. And someone, you know, was talking about on Watch What Happens Live, they said something about the, you know, how does he feel as far as him being with Catherine and Craig liking Catherine first. That was the wrong comparison to make. And I slapped Andy's hand for saying just because Craig slept with Catherine 4 times or whatever, they were in the bed together and nothing happened, then he lost his opportunity. No, that's not how it works. Some people are slower than others. That doesn't mean a friend, in quotes, friend, swoops in and takes their opportunity. But the more comparable one would be, you know, the whole Chelsea thing, the whole Catherine and Thomas thing. You know, those are more comparable to what they're dealing with. But let's not even think about that. Let's look at who the heck does Whitney think he is to be questioning Austen about sleeping with Taylor because Shep is his friend. So I'm just saying, Craig needs to just say, then Whitney does not consider him a friend. Because what about what he did with Naomi? That's the comparison I'm waiting for everybody to bring up.
And
what about you?
But not only that, but with Catherine. And after she had 2 children with Thomas.
I agree.
So
but nobody mentioning any of it in the way it should be.
Absolutely.
They're missing the mark.
And
that's pointing.
For me, this whole episode, it 100% is about the editing. And it's about shining a light in the direction that they want to shine the light. And when JT and Rod were having their discussion, it's like this particular episode was everyone kind of pairing up and giving their spin on it, but not really assessing the situation, like you said, in the way it should be assessed, and laying blame at the feet of, they're wanting to more so lay the blame at the feet of Austen because of his past and his history with women and relationships. But the same can be said for Whitley, and the same can be said for Shepherd.
Yeah, and I don't like that they're giving them such a huge pass. And Craig, of all people, he could be the one to throw the Naomi comparison out there with Whitney. That was in your friend group, and they had several years of a relationship. That should have been a non-starter. But everybody, and I'm telling you, it's about privilege. Everybody gave Whitney a pass. Who's going to call him out? He's one of the executive producers of the show. They're not going to lambaste him in the way he needs to be. And it's not fair. And did you hear Shep on Watch What Happens Live say he's being the magnanimous one and all that stuff when it comes to Taylor? But at the same time, you have Olivia trying to minimize the cheating, but I'm throwing you a bone, you know. I'm like, that shows me that you guys are milking this to the nth degree, and I'm over it. I have no sorrow, empathy, anything for you guys. It happened, whatever happened, whether they went all the way or went halfway, partway, whatever they did. There were 2 consenting adults, both single, not in relationships, whereas in Scandival, there was straight up cheating going on. This was none of that. So, you know, you give me your take and we can wrap this up.
Even before we got to the Watch What Happens Live, And when Craig did have the opportunity to rein Shepard in before Shepard went and had his conversation with Taylor, remember he basically was trying to sum up in his head what kind of person he believed Austen was. And he asked, is he a sociopath? And then he's saying how the whole situation is insane. And the show starts off with him saying, I'm taking the moral high ground. And you're right. They're playing victim. And the producers are putting them on that pedestal and giving them that platform to be the victim. But no one on this show is really looking at this from the lens, if something happened, all of the things that Shepard did to end that relationship, all of the things that he did to Taylor, no one's even talking about that. No one's even talking about that. And more to the point, when they talked about her losing her job, his explanation, she had to give 6 weeks notice for 1 day off. That just wouldn't work for his favorite personal pronoun, me.
Yeah, it's what I want to know is, are we in the minority? Are all these people really jumping on the bandwagon of pity and sorrow and feeling like Taylor is a horrible person and Austen is a horrible person, whereas Shep and Olivia are the victims? Oh, if that's the way everybody's feeling, you guys need to check your temperature. Something is wrong. There is an underlying condition going on that's being undiagnosed in you if that's the way you're feeling. Yes, we can say it was not the best move for Taylor and Austen. It was not a good look for them. However, I repeat, they were two single adults, neither in relationships. Nobody was cheating on anybody. So in that scenario, they could choose to be together if they wanted to.
Which, if you listen to the times that Taylor is given the opportunity to talk, that's exactly what she says. That's exactly what she says. At the time, I was broken. He was broken. We weren't in relationships. You guys were on the break, and she was speaking about Olivia. She's saying that exact same thing, and we know, we've heard it before, when people say we're on a break or we're broken up, then you can do what you want to do.
Supposedly you can, but I guess maybe not. But when I think about Olivia, like I said, there was no long-term relationship. Was Austen wrong for leading her on? For sure. You should be more mad about that than this.
Absolutely.
And her and Taylor were not longtime besties. You know, they were making a friendship over breakups. So it's not a good look, as I said, but it happened. I do not think Austen has done way worse. I'll say that. In my book, the way he treated Sierra, way worse. Way worse. Some of the things he did to Madison, to Chelsea, way worse than what he has done to his friend, and I put that in air quotes, Shep. And guess what? Shep, you've done worse too. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. I'll let you close out, Lori.
So suffice to say, we were not pleased with the production and how they pieced together a story to paint Taylor and Austen in a very bad light. But I'm still hanging in there with Southern Charms. I want to see how this plays out to the very end. But you tell us what you're thinking. What do you think about the double standard here, the privilege that we are clearly seeing? How is production piecing this all together? Are we wrong, or do you agree with us? Give us your insight in the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking, and tune in next time. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely ours and should be taken as such. Our thoughts are intended purely for entertainment purposes. Please do not take anything we say as fact or advice. Thank you for listening.